درود به مردم شریف ایران. من شهریار افشار هستم، میزبان شما در Politics 365. امروز یک Foreign Affairs Correspondent در پاکستان به برنامه ما دعوت کردیم، خانم ایمن جمیل. ایشون کارشناس موضوع امنیتی در خاورمیانه، ایران، پاکستان و چند تا مقاله در مورد این موضوع نوشته که میخواستم حتما به برنامه دعوتش کنیم. به علاوه اون تو پاکستان تازگی ها انتخابات داشتن و ما میخواستیم ببینیم که این دولت پاکستان روابط بین‌المللیش با ایران در چه وضعیتی هست و چه انتظاری ممکنه خواهیم داشت در نقشی که پاکستان ممکنه بازی کنه در روابط ایران با بقیه خاورمیانه و با مخصوصا موضوع جنگی که در غزه الان داره ادامه پیدا کرده. بقیه برنامه به انگلیسی هستش، ما رو ببخشید. پس بریم دنبال گفتگومون. Aimen, Jamil, welcome to Politics 365. Thanks so much for making time. As I mentioned in Farsi, I believe Iran-Pakistani relations is not something is widely reported. I really wanted to try to understand really what's going on in Pakistan internally, and then to the extent that you're comfortable in sharing, what is really the Pakistani government's position on Iran, relations with Iran. Iran just had its elections. Pakistan just Iran elections are continuing, but the Pakistani elections may be of some important note as to its impacts on Iran. And of course, we want to finish with Pakistan's view of the war in Gaza. So tell us a little bit about your background, if you could, your history as a correspondent in foreign affairs and security issues, and then we'll jump into the Pakistani elections.
Sure. Well, I have an experience of 2 years of a Middle East correspondent and global defense insight. And initially, I have just started my own platform as well, that is Middle East Currents. And I've been working on it. It's been 3 months that I've been working on it. I'm writing articles on Middle East and Pakistan and the relations, major focus on Iran-Pakistan. And this is all. And I have done my bachelor's in international relations.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about, I just want to make sure people understand the baseline. What form of government does the Pakistani government have? And what, if anything, has changed in the elections? I just want people to understand the former government that Pakistan has and the new leadership or the continuing leadership.
However, that Pakistan is the previous government, the former government of Pakistan was Imran Khan's government. Then the vote of no confidence happened, and then Shehbaz Sharif came into power for almost 1.5 years. And then after that, there was the caretaker government, because we are having elections after every 5 years. So the caretaker government came, and then the new elections took place on 8th February. And on 9th, yesterday, the Prime Minister of Pakistan took the oath, and then the newly elected government is a coalition government between Pakistan People's Party and Muslim League Nawaz.
I see.
And this is.
And is this coalition, I've heard, coalition governments in other parts of the world, is this common in Pakistan? Because certainly in America, we're not too good at building coalitions. There's just division. There's Republican and Democrats, and they fight until they're just can't fight anymore. So how do coalition governments get formed? Is it an uneasy alliance, or is it very much a collaboration that's positive?
However, during this time, that there was no party who has won the 2/3 majority. And right. to be in power, it is required that there must be the 2/3 majority in the National Assembly, right? So none of the party, because of the political turmoil in Pakistan, was able to get that number of seats in the National Assembly. So, however, the Muslim League and the People's Party has also had made the coalition government previously as well. It was not for the first time that they had made, and yes.
So nobody could get the 2/3 majority, so that's why they had to form a coalition government. what is
Yes.
is there an official foreign policy of the government of Pakistan, the new government of Pakistan, on Iran? How do they view Iran and its actions in the region?
However, like Pakistan sees Iran as a brotherly Muslim country because we share border with them, and this is what we cannot deny, that we share our borders with them, and we are having a lot of economic
Trade,
opportunities to
right?
collaborate in the area. Yeah, yeah. And Pakistan is having the energy crisis, and we can have the energy import from Iran.
Iran,
That is, and one of the major project that I have to. We were already talking about the Iran-Pakistan gas pipeline project that is being delayed for years now, and the caretaker government that was there, that they have passed the bill to restart the construction in from like Gwadar to Iran. And at the Iranian side, the project has been completed, and now we have to complete the project. Because of the US sanctions on Iran, there were certain difficulties that Pakistan could not complete um, that project on time. However, we see Iran as a brotherly country, and we do support Iran in some points, and at some points we do disagree with them as well. But we are having good relations with them.
so you should obviously you share a border with Iran. You kind of have to tolerate the neighbor, whether sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't agree. And Iran
Yeah,
did its half, I guess, of the much delayed pipeline, the Pakistani-Irani pipeline. But because of the U.S. sanctions and maybe some American parts and American services, Pakistan has not been able to complete its portion for the pipeline to
yeah.
begin operations. Okay, that's good to know. Now, what you mentioned some border clashes, but previously, but what is the biggest conflict between Pakistan and Iran right now?
Right now, Pakistan and Iran, the biggest conflict between them is because of the non-state actors that are um, non-state actors that are taking place in each in the either side.
I
And
see.
however, you getting it now?
Right, right. Yeah, so basically non-state being like militias or groups that oppose Pakistani
Yes.
governments that operate in Iran, and anti-Pakistani groups that operate I'm sorry, in Iran, and yeah, so
Yeah,
basically
yeah. But
opposition
we
groups
yes,
in different
we are
in both
having
countries.
we claim that the Iranians are giving hideouts to the BLA, that is Balochistan Liberation Army, and what Pakistan and what Iranian side thinks that we are like Pakistanis are giving hideouts to Jeshul Adal and the other non-state actors over
Right,
there.
right,
So there are the security concerns for each of the state, and we are collaborating because of the recent event that took place in January between the two states that Iran attacked Pakistan, and in a retaliatory move, Pakistan also shows its power over there as well. But however, that both the states are cooperating in the security realm as well to normalize their relations again, and yes, and to just come up with certain policies so that which benefit both the states.
right.
And
I mean,
it is also harming our economic opportunities as well.
right. So Pakistan's focused on economic opportunities with Iran, even though it has some sounds like, as you say, non-state actors, hideouts between opposition groups concerns, but overall, it doesn't have a major issue with Iran, a major conflict. Even that skirmish that you mentioned in January, that we all heard about, seemed to kind of
Yeah.
go away quickly. I mean, it didn't seem to get worse. It
Yes.
was resolved quickly.
Yeah,
Obviously,
because
both.
it was resolved quickly because there were other factors, like there was the factor of China as well, the Road and Belt Initiative as well. So the other actors were also taking was the major for the the de-escalation of the conflict.
De-escalation. There were some China and mediation efforts to not to escalate
Yes.
and focus on business and obviously being two Muslim countries, I think Iran feels, and maybe Pakistan feels, there's some commonality there. We share a border. We're both
Yeah,
Muslim. I mean, I'm
border
sorry,
as
like,
well, and China's interest in both the states. China is investing a lot in Iran as
right,
Iran. It has signed 25-year agreement with
right.
Iran, and we are having the CPAC project in Pakistan. So it could have the economic impact.
Right. So China kind of stepped in and said, look, I got money on both sides. I don't want either side to argue. Right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And that's why we never heard more about it. Money and oil in that part of the world decide a lot of things.
Yeah.
Looking at the rest of the really projection of Iran's power in the Middle East and Gaza and Hamas, how does Pakistan view what's going on in Gaza right now? I mean, do they support Iran in supporting Hamas and Hezbollah, or do they have a different view of how you project or stand up for Muslims in the Middle East?
However, Pakistan just do not support Iran. What there is a picture portrayed of Iran that they are supporting the non-state actors, what we say that Hezbollah, Hamas, and these. However, Pakistan stands as strong on the Muslim, they support the two-state solution over there. They do support they do condemn the Israeli actions over there, and Pakistan is very much open for the help for the Gazi for the Palestinian peoples, and we have sent the humanitarian aids as well over there. However, Pakistan definitely supports the two-state solution.
Right. So a lot of people support the two-state solution. Um, what was relations like, or Pakistan's view like before October 7? I mean, did Pakistan make any public statements about October 7, or did it remain quiet?
Well, Pakistan was a bit quiet initially, and there was no that stance that we were expecting that will be coming from Pakistan didn't came at that point. However, Pakistan was supporting the two-state solution before October 7 as well, and after October 7 as well. So the stance is almost the same. There's no a big difference in their stance. But however, we do support the
Right.
two-state solution, that
So looking,
Palestinians should have their separate homeland.
right. So looking ahead in the Middle East, what would you say are the biggest challenges and opportunities, either between Pakistan and Iran, or really Iran and the Middle East? What are the biggest challenges and opportunities?
The biggest opportunity in the recent time is this, we have seen that the deal was brokered between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Despite having their religious differences, they kept aside them, and the deal was definitely brokered by China. So there is a great influence of China in the region, and the two countries that were rival at a certain point now are meeting at the same point. They are the part of the regional organizations as well. So there are a lot of the economic opportunities over here, and if we see that Saudi Arabia is now before October 7th, Saudi Arabia was in talks to have normalization with the Houthis as well, the Yemen Houthis, and the Saudi Arabia was also in talks with Israel to have the normalization, but somehow after October 7th, the stance has been changed a bit. And there are a lot of the economic opportunities as well. And what we have seen that the Muslim world is now having a bit what we can say that is that there's a trust deficit is being there coming between the Muslim countries and the US, while the role of Russia and China is being increasing in Middle East. And because in 2022, Saudi Arabia became the largest oil exporter to China, and it has surpassed the Russia's importance to China. So, however, there are a lot of opportunities over here. Economical security. In terms of security, there are a lot of opportunities. And now Middle Eastern countries have now started recognizing that we have to solve the problems within the region rather than focusing out of the region. So there are a lot of opportunities and there are challenges as well.
Right. So that's interesting. The Saudi-Iran relationship could be a game changer in the Middle East, as the two biggest rivals, Shia, Sunni. The Iran and Saudi go way back. They have a lot of history and baggage together, but
Yeah.
potentially their relationship could change the dynamics in the Middle East, and maybe by
Yes, it
extension,
would.
what Iran does or does not do with those non-state actors, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, all over the place. Suddenly things could change. And in the absence of, as you mentioned, I think the U.S. or the lack of trust with the U.S., China stepping in and becoming a regional player and peace broker,
Yes.
and not to mention an economic deal maker with the 25-year agreement in southern Iran. Those are all tectonic shifts in the Middle East. The world has changed just in the past few years because of those things, and it will continue to change as whoever gets elected in the U.S.
Yeah,
presidency.
because till now, China is not involved militarily in the region, and in future it may not involve itself militarily in the region. However, US wants to have a stronghold militarily, and if US wants to have its position back in the region that was before, so it has to come up with certain transformation in its policies. It should come up with the economic policies and rather than just focusing on security and only security.
Right. Unfortunately, the U.S., with the sanctions, what is it that they say? If the only tool in your toolbox is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So the U.S. is very good at
Yeah.
sanctions and military projection, but when it comes to economic diplomacy, it doesn't have the trust and the confidence in the region to really have the impact that clearly it looks like China is able to do. China is stepping into the
Yes.
vacuum that left by the U.S., not militarily, but economically and politically.
Economic.
And that is having more traction than simply having more military bases in the region, which is what the U.S. has done.
Yes, yes.
Pretty amazing. We could keep talking about this all the time. Aimen, Jamil, thank you so much for joining me. I learned a lot from a topic we don't always cover, Iran and Pakistan, and really the perspective from Pakistan and that side of the world projected over to the region. So thanks for joining us. I hope you'll come back to see us soon.
Thank you for having me.